Life is a lot like beekeeping. Beekeeping isn't easy, and at times can be downright tough. Sometimes you feel like you're on an island, that you're not making a difference, and that you're on your own. But just remember, the darkest hour is just before dawn. There are those out there shining a light, being the change, and being a lighthouse. You're not alone. There's an incredible community of folks who want to help, who want to lift you up, and want to see you do well. Like the honeybee is to the hive, we're better together. With hard work, if we work together, and with a little help from above, all things are possible. It's not just about keeping bees. It's about being our brother's keeper. Be the lighthouse.
Wow.
Howdy.
Well, hey guys.
Chill bumps as always, man. Awesome intro. Good stuff.
Can we play it on every live?
I don't. Well, I think so. I think there's a copyright thing where with not to get in all the details, but with the music on that, it has to be linked through my channel and such. We can figure something out.
We'll have your channel do the first 3 minutes of every live. And then we'll tell everybody, all right, jump over. It's Bruce's. Just go over to Bruce's now real quick.
You know, for anyone listening, first, welcome to one of the most exciting beekeeping chats that I think we've all been anticipating. We're looking forward to a really fun show tonight. What's interesting is from this end of the computer, there are so many little things that happen. So first, I want to thank Brian for everything that he does to keep all these screens going, and for Bruce for trying to get us in the lottery prison. It didn't work. Brian bailed us out. We figured that out. But you know what's interesting is when you try to put yourself out there and kind of do these things, you know, with all the intentions in the world of trying to help folks and do this and do that, you're still going to have things like trolls. You're going to have things like bots that will try to take over your screen names and try to lure people into their thing. And you'll find sometimes that there are all kind of little stipulations and rules and regulations that you just have to kind of figure these things out as we go, flying by the seat of our pants per se. But it sure has been fun so far, hasn't it?
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Hey, I do want to say one thing, just in regards to the bots. So I'm sure everybody knows we're doing this giveaway. Um, Several people responded back. They commented back to there were bots that were like a text thing or this and that and whatever. I just want to say that Greg, Bruce, or myself, if we do any type of giveaway like this, we will never post a comment that says, you've been fast tracked to the prize, you've won, text us at this number, here is our email. Don't ever respond to that. I try and keep today, my channel got hit with it. It was texted something and it had my logo, just don't ever respond to that. Just report it. So just, I apologize if that happens, but not everybody is honest out there. And so
It's a fraudulent world out there, and YouTube and social medias with, usernames getting hacked, screen names being copied. It's just, I think we're all pretty familiar with that. It's just, it hits a little closer to home, literally when it hits a little closer to home. So, well, as most folks know, today is kind of, we've been building up to this very beekeeping chat, and we have a really awesome prize to give away.
Oh, yeah.
And before we get started, we just again want to thank John Hill at Hillco for helping us out, providing us an opportunity for me, Bruce, and Brian to chip in our own money to purchase an extractor at a fantastic price, just to turn around and give it away to folks. It's just a little way that we can say thanks for all your guys' support. You guys have spent a lot of time, hanging out with us since, if we just go back in time for a second, we started the Stream Team started back before Hive Life. And we were kind of talking back and forth about, well, let's get together, let's do this. We had a bunch of us on there, and that kind of catapulted these connections, and everyone was picking up on that. At Hive Life, everyone, everyone kept saying, man, you guys should do more of those. You should do more of those. One thing has led to another, and here we are, how many months later? It feels like a long time. Well, I guess it's been, how long has it been now?
Well, we actually started a couple of these right before Hive Life, but really after Hive Life is when we kind of decided to see if we can make a go of it. And I was texting, I don't know if I've sent a text earlier to Brian, maybe you're on there too, Greg. I think we've only missed 1 week since we started right after Hive Life. So that's pretty impressive, actually, that we've been able to keep it rolling. And we've had tremendous participation from folks. Right now, we got 113 on here already. And I know they're anticipating the giveaway, but either way, we've had tremendous support. And we appreciate everyone. I've seen all kinds of names in here of people that I recognize, some names I don't recognize, and hopefully this will continue to grow and we can get some more and more folks in here. Really trying to provide good content as far as like in the beekeeping world, fellowship, community, and these prizes. Of course, we want to do that, but the real benefit of this stream team, I think, is just the community that's in here right now in the comments section. We just appreciate everyone for checking us out. And we just, you mentioned, we kind of got to know each other from my end of this thing. Greg, I don't know if you remember, but you reached out to me a few weeks before Hive Life. And that was the first I'd seen, I think, one of your videos with Cayman. Didn't really know who you were. I'd seen your name, but when you went to visit Cayman, I was thinking, man, this guy, he's pretty bold out there going and visiting Cayman. I didn't realize that you love to travel and do the podcast thing. Thanks, Fuzzy World, for the super chat there. But
yeah, thanks.
But you reached out and said, hey, we're going to be doing a podcast at the Hive Life. We'd like to invite you to participate in that. Would you like to do it? And I said, sure. And then Brian, I had been thinking about doing some live streams for a while. I'd done a couple in the past that just by myself trying to manage it. I had a person or two kind of that were helping me as helping me moderate, but I had no idea what I was doing. So I had heard from a friend of mine and Brian's, Brian Carlton, used to be backyard, and I know, me too. He had a fun channel, but he actually said, "Hey, this Castle Hives guy, he does lives all the time. You should reach out to him." And it was over a year later, I finally just reached out to Brian and said, "Hey, I want to teach me how to do these lives." And so he just kind of said, "Hey, let's do one." And the next thing I know, he had 7 people on there. He had Greg, and he had, a bunch of the folks that we all recognize, Cayman, and just had a lot of people on there. And I think the thing about it is that we just complement each other. We got a good chemistry, I think. Brian's the technology guy. He's the guy, I think, with the original vision of this live, what we're doing right now, probably from the start. He's the one that's been at it the longest. Greg, you've got a great way with words. You're doing the homestead thing, and you're just phenomenal. And then I just wanted to figure out how to do lives. And so I think we've kind of complement each other really well. And it's been a lot of fun, man. And all these people we've met, I had my harvest. We may talk about this more in a minute, but just some people just from this live stream, people that kind of recognized me or knew me through there, came and helped at the harvest. It's just been so much fun. I'm just chomping at the bit to do this one tonight. And I'd like to just, I wish I could figure out how to do it full time, because I just love this beekeeping thing. I love the YouTube thing, and I love this community.
Well, that's definitely what it's about, is the community. I mean, bees are the conduit that gets us, I think, down a certain, it facilitates the journey. It puts us on a path. And as we all travel down our own paths individually, we find a lot of commonality and like-mindedness with a lot of folks who are heading down similar roads. And I think that's cool. As we all kind of got together, we had no idea that we would be, dedicating and committing to an every week kind of a get together. It really kind of spurred, because one of us needed a little help with this and a little help with that, and we're just kind of throwing ideas back and forth. And the next thing you know, we're just kind of circling up and say, "Hey, you guys want to give us a shot, see what happens?" What really makes this thing special is it's fantastic when we have all kind of great. Hey, DJ Barracuda, Dan Bokrist just checked in. Be on the lookout. Brian, I think, has a little sneak peek a little later on today, but you might see some cameos with old Dan Bokrist. It looks like Bruce.
One of the first honeys I got from anyone was from Dan. He gave me this at the Hive Life. It's pretty cool. Thanks, Dan. It's really good honey. You can see I've been working on it for a while. Got a lot of honey
over
sitting
at
right over
Red
here,
Dog Ranch here in Ohio. Dan's also my counterpart when it comes to the Contrary Beekeeper Show podcast. We've been on a little hiatus on that since about January. We've got several new episodes recorded. I just got to find a little bit of time here just to get them kind of shined up, get them out. Looking forward to kind of keeping that going too. But with Dan, with all the folks here in the comment section, there's so many that they're scrolling by so quick. But want to thank Bug Farmer and Fuzzy World. Thank you guys really for for those super chats. Those super chats is what puts us in a position to be able to just turn those dollars right back around and give to folks. So thanks again for that. There's so many folks on here. I don't want to leave anybody out, but there's quite a few regulars on here. We've got Lisa, Don Bearden, Todd Prater, 86 Off Road, DC's Bees, Dry Cut, Tennessee Tim. We got Clark's Bees and such. The list just goes on and on. Yeah, Cajun Homestead, Cody. I mean, we could just spend all night.
Can't name everybody.
I see you guys. I see you in there. Thank you for spending some time with us. That's what it's about, is this community. You guys are what makes this thing special. It has nothing to do with just us three goofballs up here just blabbering on. Let's face it. I mean, you take 3 people, any 3 people out of these comments and put them in front of microphones, I guarantee you they could blab on about bees all night long. Am I right, Brian?
I'm not a goofball, though.
What? What are you? A goober?
Well, according to the chat here, it was stated that I am a nerd, and I'll accept that.
Well, hey,
I'm a nerdy goofball.
It takes all types to make the world go round. That's for darn sure. But anyway, so I could spend all night thanking everybody. We just want you guys all to know that we appreciate you so much. You guys are what makes this special. And so we can't thank you enough for all you guys' support. Before we get into the show, we got a few things going on just to kind of maybe outline how the show will go tonight. I made a little honey call in the last time we got together, and our PO box got absolutely just swamped. Or I should say, Brian, our PO box got swarmed with honey.
See
what I did there?
I see.
So I'm going to take a few minutes here later on today and just share with everyone watching here just the different types of jars, the different types of honey, the colors, and just it's really awesome. So thank you everybody who sent us stuff to the PO box. I know Brian's got stuff. Bruce, everyone always wants to send us stuff, and that's awesome.
I love this jar
is
here.
That what?
That
wait a minute. All right.
Sent.
Well, hey, let's just get that going. What do you guys have there? What are you holding up?
Hill Hives.
Yeah, my camera.
Most recent one I got was from Hill Hives.
I think. Let's see. I don't know. I guess you guys took the surprise. You guys took the surprise right out of this. But if only I had a knife. What do you think? Is that a big enough knife to?
Good grief! Don't take your camera out, Greg.
Now, does anybody listening? Just sidebar. Any homesteaders out there? Does anybody know? Let's see if I can do this backwards. Does anybody know what kind of knife this is?
A samurai sword,
and what it's actually used for on the homestead.
It's a long knife that could do a lot of damage.
It's probably the most spectacular, one of the most spectacular knives.
Oh my God!
That anyone can have on the farm. So if you know, drop us a comment. So, hey, I'm a part of the Hail Honey crew. Look at that. Hail Hives, thank you. Got the pure Louisiana raw honey. Those are nice little bottles. Look how clear that is.
You know, he even has like the lot number in that on here. Look at it.
Man.
He like put us all to shame. Mine, I got my stickers on order right now. I finally got like official stickers coming from Blue Sky. But this even has the lot number and all that. I looked at that and I'm like, man, this guy
that's a cool bottle. I like that.
I like that. I like the plastic bottle that's squeezy, that's upside down and has the little hexagons on it.
Yeah.
That is super cool.
I know.
So Hail Hives, thank you. That's cool.
This one here, the 2EU, you don't have one of these just yet, but you will.
Oh. Is that a Castle Hives limited edition?
You need to get a special bottle made in the shape of a castle.
Ooh. That'd be cool.
Of a bee castle.
I should do. Don't they have those? What are they called that are, they're like a long, it's almost like the tower of a castle. What is it? Those muth jars?
Oh, dang, I wish I had one of mine up here.
Muth.
Holy cow. So check out the comments. I asked them what kind of knife that is. We have some, really good guesses. Pig sticker. It would probably work for that. Probably a little longer than it needs to be for that. Richard Prager is super close. Hog skinny knife could be. Let's see. Christmas tree pruner. Well, I guess. I don't recommend opening that with a knife. Uh-oh. Look at the Hickory Hives. And the Hickory Hives for hogs. So this is actually a very old antique, old hickory or Ontario knife is what they were known as.
Wow.
But this particular knife, if you look at the curve on it and the length, this is what we use when we are slicing bacon. It is the perfect length. You take an entire slab of bacon after you, of course, get them cured and smoked. And when you slice it and put it away, that's the most perfect knife for that. And I had an old timer give that to me, which makes it even more special. So now that's know. While we're on the honey kick, I've got some really special ones here, Brian. Check this one out. We've got a Hives for Heroes special edition that came from Steve Jimenez. And Javier, the fellas there.
That's one of those muth bottles or muth bottles.
That is, isn't that neat? It's a little.
I sell some of those. Yeah.
What is that? Maybe I don't know, 4 ounce or something, maybe 6 ounce.
Probably.
And look at the presentation on that.
Is it? It might say on it. Does it have the raised glass on the side where your fingers are? I'll tell you how big it is. It's probably either 4 or 8 ounces.
Right there it is, 4 ounces.
4 ounces. Those are really nice gifts. They're
It's
beautiful.
pretty, isn't it? No matter what kind of honey in there, it just looks nice.
They sure do. Classy.
We've got, oh, this one was cool. This guy actually stopped by to give this to us. All these honeys that I'm showing here are going on a display shelf here at the farm, so folks can kind of check in and see that. Now look at this, Bruce. I don't know if you probably don't get a chance to see something quite that light. Maybe you do.
The privet is sometimes the privet is pretty light like that, but
this has a greenish
sure
hue
does.
to it. And
What
this
kind
is
it?
black locust.
Okay.
Straight black locust honey. That's from that was from Nick Zooks, Bee Dad Honeybees, Sunbury, Ohio. Pretty cool. This one is special.
This is one of the Hill Hive ones. This is one of the Hill Hive ones that's really light like that. I bet this privet.
Oh yeah, look at that.
A couple different colors. Like I bet this is privet. It's a real super. You probably can't tell. It's really yellow.
Yeah, I've got two here too. You know what? Now that I look at them, it does look like the one in the smaller jar might have been from a different run. It's cool when you put them up in the light, all the different things you can see. One thing is really special when you mentor folks or you spend any kind of time with them. I've got a Bruce Brown. Thank you for that super chat. I've got a guy who was sending me all these pictures of a flow hive, right? And at first I was kind of like, flow hive. You know, we all kind of have an opinion on that. And then he was showing me all these photos of all the frames, all different colors of honey, and then a photo of him bottling, and him and his daughters were just having a blast with it. And I thought, man, you know what? Before I keep having too many opinions on this, I should really slow down and actually try this first and see. So because of this guy, I actually got with Brian. Brian let me borrow his Flow Hive Super. But what was cool is Jim Zeminski with Z's Bees in New Albany, Ohio. His daughters hand drew the label, and then they scanned them and had a bunch of them made. But this is a really special jar.
Wow.
Not only you can see the color, I'm trying to hold this thing in the light there. It's also from Black Locust, which we've had a bumper year of. But what's special about this jar is this is somebody's first fruits. And I think you guys know how important that is. When someone gives you their first fruits, that means an awful lot. Now, if someone gives you your first fruits and you drop them off your shelf and then almost knock over your one-of-a-kind coffee mug, Brian, you are really in there.
No. The coffee mug, it drew it in. But right here, you see what that is.
Fall first harvest. Oh, nice.
This is fall of 2017.
This is from Michelle Irwin. Tootsie's Backyard Bees. I believe this was her first harvest as well.
Wow.
Michelle, it says Tootsie's Backyard Bees. I believe that's her granddaughter, and Michelle's nickname, I guess her granddaughter calls her Tootsie. So that's Tootsie's Backyard Bees first. I believe it's her first run. Michelle, you can clarify on here. Hey, I wanted to find out. Hey, thanks, Bruce Brown, for the super chat. Bruce, I think, is the one that won the Hive tool last week. Just want to make sure he got it. I'm sure he did. We sent that out to him.
I've got a couple more jars here that I want to thank everybody for. Do you guys remember we had some questions, some video questions, and we had probably the most impressive, unbeatable, one-of-a-kind entry. So, and someone made an appearance in something that looked like this.
Yep.
Yes, that was cool. Yeah, that was awesome.
So Keith Spillman sent me this shirt.
Oh my gosh.
The Denton military show, and also a half tracks and honeybees. Boy, I don't know how do you even say that? Yadkinville, North Carolina, half tracks honeybees from Keith Spillman. Check that out. Isn't that cool?
That is awesome. Hey,
That's
thanks,
awesome.
Mickey's Bees. Thanks, Mickey's Bees, for the super chat.
I got just one more. Now this one's cool. Check this out. This is from Larry Malam from Lenoir, North Carolina, and check this out. This is like, who doesn't like little samplers, right? So I don't know if I can get this in front of the camera, and I'm terrible at this boxing thing. Brian's better at it. But Brian, look what you're holding. So
What?
he sent this with all these different varieties of honey, but also peppers. So we've got super hot pepper, smoked pepper, mild pepper, There's also some hot honey in here. And so this one here says, infused with Scotch bonnet, ghost pepper blend, and peaches. Look at that.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Isn't that cool? So I'm looking forward to really getting in here and taste testing all these. I'm going to thank everybody for sending the honey. It really makes our day. We're going to put these all on display here at the Nature's Image Farm supply shop. So if you ever come out to visit, you'll be able to see your honey on our shelf and know that everyone has kind of passed through the shop, has seen your honey too. If you'd like to send us some honey and have it put on the shelf, bring it in person, or you can mail it to us at P.O. Box 1074, Zanesville, Ohio, 43702. How cool is that? That's just, I love that. There's something about, a lot of us beekeepers are also, country folk or hillbillies. There's something absolutely amazing when you hand somebody something in a jar. There's just something intrinsic about giving something, a gift like that. It's super cool.
Yeah, I've got a bunch over here too, but
good, Brian.
I think we've gone
Ready?
through it before.
1, 2, 3. Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow. Already.
Wow. Thanks, Brian.
That's quick.
Heck of a catch. Did anybody catch that? So, well, cool. The honey thing, that's cool. We've got some questions. I know Brian has a question maybe or two that we can queue up before we get going on Mickey's Bees. Would like to say thanks to Greg. My dad ordered 5 queens from you and requested to be contacted a week before sending them so he could get his nukes ready. Greg did exactly as promised. Well, we are operating. We're a small scale queen breeder. We don't raise tens and tens of thousands. We might raise 1,000 queens this year, and while that might seem a lot in the grand scheme of queen breeders, that's not a whole lot. It keeps us on our toes. It keeps us busy, but it lets us be in a place to where we can kind of fine tune and be really hands on. And I know what it's like to be able to try to plan for queens, try to plan for growth, try to plan for splits. Miracle Apiaries, thank you for the super chat. It's notification is helpful, so we ship out every Wednesday, and then usually Wednesday mornings or Tuesdays I'll get with folks and just kind of see where they're at with their splits, get their dates scheduled, get them locked in for whatever weeks works for them, and then gives them kind of time to plan, ask any questions on how to make the split or do this and do that. It's just a little way that we can try to help folks make sure they can be as successful as possible. So everyone who has sent in queen orders, thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys. We're really, we've said it before, I'll say it again. When we make queens and send them out from the farm, it's more than just a little queen bee that we're sending out and she's going to lay eggs for you guys. We put so much into them. It's really a piece of our farm. It's a piece of our family's heritage, and whatever legacy we may leave behind on this earth that we are then get to pass on to you guys. And it actually grafts our bee yards together. And I think that's a really special thing to be able to have that kind of a connection. And it's a little piece of our farm goes to you for your place. It's cool. We're absolutely honored to have the opportunity to be able to serve you folks in that capacity. So again, thanks. Nick Zooks, if you just got on, Nick, I just showed off your honey there. So that's cool.
Thanks, Lavender Bridges. Super
chat. Thank you for
awesome.
the super chat. Before we get going, guys, what has been new in your neck of the woods? Bruce, I know you've been literally under, 2 tons of honey, thereabouts?
Almost, let's see, 55 and almost 3 tons.
3 tons. Good night. Talk to us about what that was like. And then also, what does the cleanup look like in getting things squared away on the colonies after you pull that much?
Well, it all started July 1st. I had a great crew help me out. I hesitate to name everybody because I'm afraid I'll leave somebody out, but I'll make an attempt at the Fridays pulling. We had a great crew. If you go back and watch my videos, man, those are 2 of my favorite videos I think I've ever put together. Not so much that the videos are that great, but just just how the people came together and helped me out with that. And so we had Jeff White, who is a local guy here, who I'm not sure if he knew about me from the channel initially or if how he heard about me. He bought a nuke from me earlier this year, a young guy. just getting started in bees. He came and helped pull. Richard Prager was a lifesaver as well. Richard came out. You see him on the chat here. Just a tremendous hard worker. He does things right. He does things. Yeah, he's one of those guys that sits back and learns, works hard, and just does a phenomenal job. We had a couple of new guys, a couple of newbies. Bennett and Orion helped out as well. They were a little, it was a lot, 150 colonies was a little more than what they were. They'd never been in bees before. So Orion's a young kid. I think he's 14 or 15 years old, and he's interested in bees. And you'll see him on that video. And we had Justin, who's helped me out before, who helped too. So we knocked it out. We got 158 boxes off the colonies, just really did well. And it was a lot of fun. We got that done in about 10 hours. We used fume boards.
Wow.
And if you watch the video, you can see that experience. The next day was the second. We went down to Rusty Norris's place. His channel's name is Herding Bees with Rusty and Mike. And man, what a group of great people descended on us that day. We had Richard came back. Jeff came back. Jeff brought his wife, Jessie. I'm afraid I'm going to leave somebody out. Michelle came. Michelle lives in Birmingham, near the Birmingham, Alabama area. It's about 3 hours away, but she was visiting her daughter who just had a baby in Mobile, which is also about 3 hours away. So she drove east from Mobile, spent all day helping extract the honey, and then drove north to Birmingham after that was over, when she was still all hot and sticky and sweaty. And she was here probably 11 hours or so or more. I don't know. She was here a long time. Grammy came, Lisa Grammy, midwife came. We had Richard back, Jeff back, like I say. We had Rusty, of course, was there. My wife Annette. We had Lily, my daughter, and her boyfriend Chris. I'm afraid I'm going to leave somebody out. Gosh, we had a lot of people. Kathy Youngblood came, Rufus, and some of the kids came. And anyway, we had a great crew. We had crumble cookies. We had lunch. We had enough sandwiches there for lunch and dinner. And we just knocked it out. I hope I didn't leave anybody out. I may have, so I apologize. But the cleanup after that, we have a setup. If you watch the video, actually the video's done really well. It came out a couple of days ago. It came out Monday evening, but it's just, you can see the fun time that we had, the hard work that we accomplished. And, we have 2 lines that go. We have the Simple Harmony Farms uncapper, which, I've had some people asking about that. If you watch the video, you can see what that is. SimpleHarmonyFarms.com is the website where you can get it. And it's just a little white device that you push the frame down through. It slices the cappings on the frames. You don't get a lot of wax cappings out of that, but it slices them. It's very fast. And then we have Rusty designed a couple of uncapping tanks that we kind of hang them in while the extractors go. We had a 30 frame extractor going and my Maxent 20 frame extractor going full bore for about 10, 11 hours. I think it took about 12 hours total almost to do the whole job. And just a great crew. We had so many people working so hard. We had frames just laying, waiting for those extractors to finish. And man, what a wonderful day it was. We run the honey through the extractor. We run it into a 5-gallon bucket that has a paint strainer in it. And on top of that, we just have like a strainer. I'm not sure what you call it, like a food strainer that sits on there and gets out the big chunks, and the paint strainer gets out the smaller chunks. And then we tap the lid on them and go. We had 92 5-gallon buckets, which I think I figured out was just over 5,500 pounds of honey. So it's pretty awesome. Now for the year, we ended up with 124 5-gallon buckets, which is a little over 7,400 pounds of honey. So I got a lot of honey to get rid of. Clean up. Rusty has a system. He's got a great setup there. He just pulls out the pressure washer and we spray everything out. We set the uncapping tanks out for the bees to clean up. As we went along, we set the boxes out so the bees can clean those up as well. In Alabama, that's fine as far as I know. In some states, you're not supposed to do that, but down here, it's not a problem. And so you ask about cleanup. I guess were you referring to what I do with the bees after that, how we handle the bees and the equipment? Is that what you were?
Yeah, no, there's that kind of equipment, how quick you do something with the wet supers, if you do anything with them, and then what kind of configuration are your bees in at that time, and then what are you manipulating and managing those moving forward?
Well, our honey flow is for the most part over. We'll have a little bit trickling in. I think there's still something trickling in now because the bees are not super crazy, like in a super dearth. Some areas more than others. I think we have very little robbing in a couple of areas we pulled that day, which really stunned me. The ones that were the most robby, quote unquote, were Jose's out there in Midland City and Josh's out there in Midland City, who have been historically some of the nicer bees. They were pretty fired up that day. So maybe there's not anything coming in out there by that cotton field, but they're mostly in 1 to 2 box configurations. some double deeps, some deep and mediums. There's a few that may have an extra box on there. We pretty much pulled everything above the queen excluder. A lot of my colonies were getting a little bit honey bound, I think. So I think there's honey down in there that they can chomp on for now or work on for now. But I do need to get in them and assess. I went in and did the ones in my backyard, the Apame hives, Monday evening. It had been cloudy and kind of drizzly all day. I got in there, and man, those bees were just crazy off the chain. Just be cloudy. It was just not a good day for it. But I put some Apivar strips in there, and they have started plowing back through some of that honey. They were basically honey bound a month ago, and now one of them that I thought I was going to lose actually has quite a bit of brood, and they're kind of bouncing back. A couple more a little weak. I might put a couple of queens in some of those colonies, Greg, whenever you get down here. But that's my job now, is to treat for mites, assess queen strength so we can get some new queens in there and fix that problem. As far as storage of the supers go, right now they're still sitting on my trailer for the bees to clean up. I got them from Rusty's place, and I have not had a chance to get them stored. And so they've been out in the rain. I think they'll be okay, though. Last year I didn't have any issues with this summer situation, but I usually store them under the awning, and my brother in the barn up there I use Paramoth, and that's what I've used historically. I like to try some different things. I like to try an open pole barn where I can get them out, expose them to air, and not use the Paramoth. But right now that's worked. That's the best place I have for them. I've done that for years. And by the time next year rolls around, all that Paramoth basically evaporates out of there. And so, I've never had any issues at all. It works out great. So that's kind of where we're at right now. It's just I've got to get in these colonies and assess. Yesterday it was raining. Today was a beautiful day to get in them after work, but we had this. And so it's just tough to get out there and get it done, but I've got to get through and assess and get them set up for the rest of the summer, treat, feed, just figure out what I need to do, what the next step is. And I also want to identify the colonies that need those queens that you're bringing down for me. And that's basically where we're at right now. I got a lot to do, and I think about it all the time.
Wow.
And on top of that, I got to figure out how to start getting rid of this honey. I'm like, man.
Well, at least the honey's off. It always seems like there's like the one thing. It's like, okay, let me just get to that point, and then we'll start to get to the next. And then, it seems like there's always that pinnacle of whatever needs the most of you, whether it's time or money or just the greatest amount of work that you have to put out, the greatest amount of time and energy. And it's nice to have that. Sometimes you think you can see it coming, but you don't. It's like if you've ever driven out west to the mountains, and you can see those mountains for hours before you get to them, and you feel like, am I ever? You've got a mountain to climb.
Yeah, they look like they're just around the corner, and they're like
right, and it
50
takes
miles
you
away.
Forever to find it. And as soon as you get to the foothills, you're thinking, oh my gosh, this mountain is ginormous. And then you just buckle down, you get through it, and then before too much longer, it's in your rear view, and you're just waiting on the next thing. Is the honey your biggest I don't want to say the biggest thing that you worry about or you're most anxious about throughout the year, but is that like the biggest, the most crucial time of all your happenings throughout the year is like right now?
I think logistically, I would say yes, because we've got to get everything organized, get it all timing on the boxes and everything. And I did want to mention, I just thought of someone who I didn't mention earlier, Ed, son of one on YouTube. He was there with his wife, Chris. I forgot to mention him, and one more quick thing on the extraction. At the end of that video, if you watch it to the end, you can really get a sense of just the fellowship that we enjoyed. We had one segment there where Michelle is out there with Lisa, and Ed is right there. And I talked to Jesse and Jeff, and you see us out there around the boxes where the bees are kind of just starting to clean them up. And then Richard's on there, and you just get a sense of the fellowship that we felt, just the few of us that were out there at the end talking. But yeah, I'd say honey is the biggest logistical quote unquote nightmare for us. It's the most coordination that takes place. But my biggest anxiety comes from July and August, because that's historically when I lose most of them from the mites, from whatever, weak queens, just the dirt, just everything. For some reason, the beetles, everything just go crazy in July and August, and we're in that now, and I got to get in them. And so I'm anxious for that. Now we got the honey in the buckets and stored. I got to get the super stacked up, and we got to get in those hives and see what's going on. So never enough time,
But does it feel good? Does it feel good to have those empty super stacked up in your rear view?
It does. As soon as I get them stacked in the barn, it'll feel a lot better. But yeah, it does. It feels good to have the work done. Last night I was just dreaming. I actually texted Ted, or I messaged him on Facebook. Ted up in Dadeville, the commercial guy that he's kind of a mentor from a distance, so to speak. And I said, I was just looking at a cow in 60 frame, just dreaming. because that's what I think he runs 100. His is a 60 or 120 frame Cowan, but he's a big commercial guy. So Selena and her husband actually go down and kind of train with him. They've been down there a lot this summer, but it's man, I just can see some potential with this tallow down here. The flow that comes in is just, I think I've compared it on here before to a fire hose. You got the water hose, the privets coming in, the clover, the blackberry stuff is kind of trickling in, and you're putting some honey in the supers. You do a little harvest in May, and boy, when that tallow blooms, it's like someone turns on a fire hose for about 3 weeks, and they'll almost fill up. A good strong hive will fill up just about anything you put on the hive. They just pack it in so fast. So there's so much potential down here to make honey during that small time frame if everything lines up right. And so I'm dreaming about, I really don't need any more honey, but of course I'm dreaming about how I could just blow it up and do well, and sell it even, sell it to the packers and stuff. But
there's always drums, Bruce. There's always drums you can put it
always
in.
Drums, always dreams, always, all that stuff. But then I got to go to work at the hospital every day. So, how that is. But anyway, it's all right. It's good. My life is really good right now. I can't complain.
Life's good.
It sure is.
Brian, you've been busy pulling off honey and supers. You've had a brand new video out too of using your new Hillco extractor. Matter of fact, that's the same extractor that we're going to give away tonight, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. That thing. I tell you what, as compared to my old extractor that I had, that thing ran flawless. I have no complaints about it. Just the assembly of that extractor was easy. I mean, it was just basically you got 6 bolts to put the legs on. You put your top assembly with the motor on, but that thing just ran smooth. I mean, there was literally nothing I had to do other than, plop the frames in it, and it ran smooth. So I am very happy with that. Whoever, and I said in that video, if you didn't see it, I think it's my last video that I did about the 5-minute or so mark. You'll see I have it chaptered. You can go to it and look for Hillco. But whoever wins tonight, that's the extractor you're getting. And it's like to get a 9-frame extractor of that build quality, and you see how quiet it is too. I did nothing. I did not alter that sound. Nothing in that video. I was in my little honey house, my bee building with that extractor in there, 4 walls around me. So if it was loud, it would have picked it up. Mike Berry also, he's commented that he's got an 18 frame, and he said he can talk like normal, and he actually sent me a picture. He's got the laptop watching us, and he's out there using his extractor, and he can hear his laptop over the extractor. So it's just a little hum, and it's that sweet hum that the honey is coming off. So
yeah, those were a couple of great videos. Yours and Mike's were just really good videos about start to finish, and capping. Mike talks a lot about his uncapping take and all the techniques he's using as well. So, and he is just, it is interesting because he says, it sounds loud, but he says, I'm talking at my normal voice right here and I can hear everything. It's not an issue. He said the camera's just picking up some noise, but he said it's so quiet and nice. And so I'm super excited we're able to do this for you guys tonight.
Not until, and just like what Mike said, not until you're actually standing right next to that unit, you really can't get a feel for how quiet it is. Because like he said, the mics on phones or whatever it is, they pick up the slightest little sound. And, but on the same hand, like in those videos and mics and, whoever has a Hillco extractor, I was talking just plain as day. I didn't have to raise my voice, nothing. And that thing was just purring along. So I was very happy with it. I mean, it sped up my process. I did have a bottleneck in my process though, that I found, when I was extracting, and that I need to get myself an uncapping tank so that when I have one round going, I can have the next round prepped. It's interesting. Hillco has
new uncapping tank as well. I don't know if it's similar to the one that Mike had, the Maxim, but that thing he has is really nice.
Oh, I looked at that. I saw that. Yeah, I want to try and get something that I can fit on that workbench that I have where I harvest. That way, because it's all right there, I can just turn. I can do stuff sitting down. I can load my extractor. So I just need to look at the space that I have, and just get something that'll fit. So I don't necessarily need something on legs like what Mike has, but if I get something, that could just sit on a workbench top, and then put it under on a shelf when it's not being used, that would be perfect. So it would definitely speed up my process.
Hey, you guys just say thanks to Melody and Frank, everyone that's still popping these super chats in.
Thank you guys for the super chats there. That's those Hillco extractors. Brian was just out visiting us at the learning yard, where we have military veterans and our bee folks come out and learn for free, get to learn and check out all kind of different scenarios. We kind of sometimes throw curveballs in these colonies to see, so these folks can learn and see all these different kind of things. Brian has a video coming out. I think you're gonna publish that this coming Saturday, and there's a really interesting myth busting scenario with a virgin queen that I think you're going to want to check out, and we're going to talk about that the next time we get together after that video publishes. But there are so many things that we see, there's so many things that we read, that we've been told, that we've heard, that isn't necessarily the gospel truth when it comes to what you actually see the bees do in the bee yard. And that's the fun thing with the learning yards. We get to learn hands-on and see all these different kind of scenarios, including something really special that we've seen. Brian, I think you have a little 1-minute clip from the learning yard. You have that queued up? You want to play that?
I got it. Yeah. And I'll tell everybody. So we all know Greg. Greg is one of those humble individuals that living 2 hours away, when I can scoot down to his place, and you see here in this video how both he and his wife are interacting with the people that come to the learning yard. I sat and I'm looking at this video and I'm like, what can I do with it? And I just had to, and you'll see it in a second, but it's something special going down to his place and just seeing what's taking place down there. So me being the camera guy, I totally enjoy that because I get to capture all of those moments that take place down there. And you'll see a little, I think it's probably about 1.5 minutes here, but you'll see just a little smidge of it. And I have so much video from his place that I could put a 2-hour-long video together. But let's see this short little clip.
Maybe we should give it a spin.
Let's give it a spin.
What does Dan call that, Susie?
Oops.
Spider webs? Cobwebs?
It looks like spider webs or cobwebs.
Yep. You see it kind of slinging out to the side?
Cotton candy.
Cotton candy. All right. Now we can start to speed it up a little bit. Give it away.
Live action.
It's like a lot of fun.
All right. So now we're too big for winter time. They'll have to thin out some. Okay. But we're in their managing lot. They need feed. They need treatment. We're treating them. They'll be thin. is not only the honey's uniform, but the weight of the frame is uniform.
Just like that. There you
all
go.
these varieties. That's great. Special appearance by DJ Barracuda. You don't want to miss out on that full video. I got to thank Brian for you put so much time in those videos, Brian.
Man.
They look so awesome. I'm sitting there watching that. When you sent that, it's. I got to thank all the folks that come out for the learning yard. It's all about the people. It has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with our style of beekeeping. It's all about just facilitating that relationship, putting people in touch with other people and the bees and that whole entire thing going on. It's an absolute honor just to be able to do that. And I got to thank Brian for making the video happen. When I see the kids get involved like that, I mean, that's what it's about. There's an old, a lot of us get it. We are beekeepers, farmers, gardeners, homesteaders, but there's an old saying that I absolutely love. And it's an ancient Greek proverb that says, a society grows great when old men plant trees under the shade they know they'll never sit under. We have no idea what these kids will do with the rest of their life or their parents. That's not what it's about. All we're doing is planting a seed, planting a tree for somebody else to sit in the shade, to pull the fruits. We don't have to be there to claim it, to see it, to be a part of it. We just do what we can now to facilitate that growth. And it's an absolute honor and a blessing to be in a position to be able to do that for folks. And so, Brian, thanks again for being a part of it too, and sharing that journey.
Yeah, it's not a problem, man. I have fun doing that. So that's, like I said, I always have a good time when I come down. So even if we build a wall, even if there are no donuts.
No, don't wait a minute.
I know. The donut.
There has been donuts. Before we go on to the next little phase here, we got some of that hot honey from the filament corner, and he asked that we take a little taste test on the video or on the camera. Now, I don't know about this stuff. I'm not I'm not diabetic. I've got the opposite, and so sometimes I got to watch out on sugar because it throws me through the loop up on the other side. So it'll be interesting to see. So I try to limit how much honey I actually eat, but I'm gonna just go to town here on this one. Is that too much on this? Let's find out. This is that hot honey. I think it was. Let's read what this is here. Let's see. Infused with Scotch bonnet, ghost pepper blend, and peaches.
You'll be okay.
Oh. I'm going to mute this mic.
Looks like it was spicy. Spicy.
That's got a little kick. Oh, man. I think somebody said a little dab will do you.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. Well done. Ooh. Man, that's got flavor. That actually has a ton of flavor, and I'm actually breaking down in a sweat. I'm getting goosebumps on that one.
Richard Brigger gave me some spicy honey, and I haven't tried it yet. I didn't bring it up here. I would try it now.
Wow,
hilarious!
I'll have to try it another time.
That I will say that this thing will probably last me a lifetime. And I just need a little pick me up. That'd be nice if you're sitting out in a deer blind late November or in January. That'll warm you up. So thanks. There was another super chat that came through there. I missed it.
Michelle, I think.
Michelle, thank you. Yeah, thank you for that.
Darren Glenn.
Darren Gam, man, that was
Darren Gam,
yeah. B and Brian got he came up and picked up 3 nukes. He actually won one of the nukes from Hive Life, and pick that out. Also, I seen Eugene Nelson just commented, and Eugene, you'd be happy to know when we get off tonight, you'll be getting an email from me with your tracking information, your tracking number for the queen that you won on the last stream. So that was pretty fun to go get all those shipped out today as part of the queen shipment. So that was pretty cool. Brian, we've got a question. I know we have at least one. If you can pull up with your magical powers, pull up one of those questions.
Good evening, my beekeeping brethren. I hope you're all doing well. Before I ask my question, I want to take time to Brian, Bruce, Greg. The beekeeping community appreciates all that you guys are doing, the hard work to put these video chats together, to line up guests to talk to us, keep us entertained, keep us informed. And y'all have no idea the impact that this is not had, but is having and is gonna have. When I was getting back into beekeeping, I used YouTube. I would search YouTube about beekeeping videos, researching, and I would watch chats that people would sit and talk about beekeeping and stuff like that. And so I know that people coming behind y'all are researching beekeeping. And so your stream team chats, they're going to be watched for years to come by people trying to glean just a little bit of information from what y'all might share. And I appreciate it, being one that was there one time trying to learn all I could. I appreciate all the information that I got. So that brings me to my question. The three of you guys I consider friends. And I would like to know, if you're reading, what are you reading? What books are on the shelf on the bed, on beside your bed? You know, what are you reading at night if you read? And then if you do more research on videos and stuff, who's some of your favorites that you like to watch for information, as far as somebody that maybe has not been in the stream team, you know, stream teamers or whatever you want to call it, following, you know, if it may be somebody else. But I was just curious about that. I hope all of y'all are doing well. I pray that your seasons are doing well. And I look forward to seeing you all at the Hive Live Conference. Thank you for taking my question.
Well, if you don't know much about Mr. Tennessee Tim McCandless, go back in time. Are you guys, Bruce and Brian, you guys are young enough, I think, aren't you, to know, is it Wayne's World? Isn't it Wayne's World?
Yeah.
Go back in time. Go back in time. I think it's Wayne's World. I don't know. Go back in time on the YouTube channel. Check out Beekeeping Saved My Life. There's a 2-part video series with Tim.
It's great. It's incredible.
It's probably been one of my absolute favorite ones to just share that story. I don't want to give it away, but beekeeping has saved many of our lives in lots of different ways. But if this particular story, you definitely want to check it out when you're in a position to where you're suffocating to death, and it takes everything that you have to just roll over and take one more breath. That you're living literally one breath at a time. And as you're worried about taking your last breath, you ask God to give you another day, let me get out there, work them bees, give me that motivation, give me the courage, give me the strength to do it. I'm not going to give the rest away, but check out Beekeeping Saved My Life with Tennessee Tim McCandless on our YouTube channel. You'll be glad you did.
It's unbelievable.
So great question, Tim. The question was, what are we reading, researching, looking at, consuming, even as we lay in bed at night or in the morning with the coffee? Brian, I'll start with you. What are you into right now?
The very last beekeeping book that I read was this one right here.
Okay.
So I wanted to get into queen rearing, but it just, I mean, we all know I had to go back to working on the road here and there. So timing wise, when you're getting into the queen rearing, timing wise, it did not allow me to do it this year. But yeah, this right here, Tim, is the last book that I read, beekeeping. So yeah.
Bruce, what about you? Is there anything that you're reading or chewing on?
Well, honestly, I don't read a lot. I get Bee Culture and kind of read through there every month. I've read, I think the first book I read was Beekeeping for Dummies. I also like the books from Wickwaz Press. I've got it pulled up here. Honeybee Biology. I've listened to Swarm Essentials is one I've read from them. Bee Sex Essentials, Queen Rearing Essentials. There's a new one that's called Making Money or something with bees or something like that. They've got some really good books, but I'm going to be honest. I've learned a lot initially. I just learned from people, man. I had a great mentor that I would go to with every question. I read Beekeeping for Dummies. I think that book. I also have the book called The Beekeeping Bible that I read. It's like a real big, thick book that talks about the history of honeybees and then the basics. And I learned the basics of kind of how bees work and how things are set up in the hive from those books. But really, I've learned mostly from other beekeepers and from the bees themselves. I learned so much. Gosh, most of the things I try, I've learned on YouTube videos, to be honest. I've tried some things I've learned just since we've been doing this chat from you guys and from Craig and Gus and Randall and Mike. And, I'm not afraid to ask a question to anybody at any time. I reached out to Cayman back when he probably didn't even know who I was, and asked a couple of questions, and we've developed a pretty good friendship. And so initially I went to the Bee Club and learned some good things here locally. I've got a couple of great mentors, my initial mentor, David, and then Davis and Tyler here, the sideliners that are close to being commercial guys, help me with the pollination stuff. And Rusty, we're always bouncing ideas off of each other. And, Davis just called me a couple of days ago and asked me some questions about some things. So I really learned the most from other people, from you guys and from folks on YouTube. And my viewers ask questions on my videos sometimes, and I don't know the answer. And so I have to kind of maybe learn from them. Sometimes they'll give me suggestions and things to learn. So I'm not a huge reader when it comes to beekeeping. I read a lot initially. And I tell you what really has taught me the most is the bees themselves. That's where I learned getting in the bees and learning from the bees. And you can learn the concepts and principles from people all over the world, but you guys very local, even to each individual bee yard. It can be different from place to place. You got to learn how to read the hives, read the foliage, read what's coming in that spot. I've got hives that are, 5 or 10 miles apart, and it's a totally different, they're different. And so you got to kind of learn how to read all that. So I don't know, that's not a very clear answer, but I'm just kind of all over the place, just to be honest with my learning. I'm always like a sponge when I'm talking to folks and learning. I mean, I'll call anybody. I mean, if I have a question, I'll call. If they don't answer, that's fine, but I'll reach out to anybody. I'm not intimidated or scared to reach out to just about anybody out there.
There's it's what's interesting is if you could trace back your beekeeping journey, there's different points of it where you're consuming different types of information. And I know, for me personally, I have a really hard time reading books. I don't know what it's about, but when I start reading a page, I'll find myself, I'll read something in it and my brain will squirrel dog and I'll be thinking about a million other things at the same time. I'll get to the bottom of the page and I have no idea what I just read. So I'll go back and I'll read it for a second time and I'll realize, man, you didn't get that much either. And maybe I'll read it the third time and where I say, well, I guess today just not the day. I just am not going to be able to get through here. So rather than like reading something cover to cover, I'll kind of just glance or gloss or like use some books more as maybe reference material. I have a really hard time reading like just cover to cover on anything. Droning Outdoors and Texas Beekeeper, I think they can relate. I do pretty good with audiobooks, but with audiobooks, there's not a lot of the stuff that I want to read is in audiobooks. But I've got 3 books right now slash audiobooks that I kind of cruise through when I can. One is a classic, and that's Steve Tabor's Breeding Super Bees. Just a great book, a lot of solid information. You'll hear stuff that Bob talks about and things that Bob's learned from that book too. There's just a lot of just old, solid info. You will not see me in the XYZ and all of those just thick old books. I lose it. It's almost like I don't know, I get demoralized knowing I've got 300 pages to look through. But the Steve Tabor book it's thin, it's good. Another one, make sure there's no young ears in the cornfield. Okay. This one has an adult theme to it, so just be careful. This is definitely X-rated, so you guys make sure there's no young ears in the cornfield. You ready?
Might be the one. Yep, that's the one I mentioned a minute ago.
Yep. And that one, it's thin, and I don't actually read through it. There's just little, bits and pieces. Sometimes when you see something with a starter or a timing or something, you just kind of go back to kind of check back on it. Another book that I've been an audio book that a buddy of mine gave me the hardcover to actually read, which I thought was interesting because I've never actually tried to read it paper, so I might get something different out of it, is totally not related to beekeeping at all. I mean, I guess everything's related, everything's connected, but if you're, head of your household, or you're leading a team, or you have kids, or you're working with people, definitely a book you might think about checking out is Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and Leif Babbitt. There's a lot of just excellent fundamentals inside of there. So if anyone's read that, you'll know. If you haven't, definitely check it out. Extreme Ownership. It's just a neat. It talks about things. It's kind of more from the military leadership, but it all has to do breaking it down on things that even make sense to the civilian decentralized command, what that means. So anyways, check that out too. Podcasts are about, I think, the easiest thing for a lot of us to listen to. And me and Dan Bokers hope to get a lot more episodes out on the Contrary Beekeeper Show, just sharing our experience, not trying to come at it from a place of scientific PhD-edness, just boots on the ground, literally in the boxes. Here's what we're doing. Here's what we're seeing. Here's what we're planning on doing. Just kind of sharing that approach. But
I think it's important that we have people out there who are, I would call bee nerds, kind of like Umberto and Cayman and Ian and Bob Benny to some extent, that just are really into the science of everything. And then I like, there's a lot of folks out there that are just, not quite. So it kind of just consuming that stuff, and almost at the level of a podcast. I figured out how to watch YouTube videos in double time and a half or double time, so I can watch them faster. So they become almost like a podcast for me. I can be out cutting the grass or just bottling up honey or something. I could put that joker on speed and a half or 1.75, and I can whip through some videos and learn so much that way. I actually focus better if I speed them up. And if you ever go to Greg, if you ever go to your podcast with Cayman Reynolds, when he's at time and a half or double time, he sounds like, what's the guy's name? The political commentary guy. He sounds hilarious.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Anyway, I'll think of it when we get off of here. But anyway, he sounds just like him, and it's just hilarious to hear Cayman at double time.
Funny.
But anyway, oh gosh, I'll think of it here in a minute. But so yeah, that's kind of, I just learned from really all of you guys. I mean, I found that some of the books are really geared, the ones that I've read are really geared towards just bee basics, like this is the honeycomb, this is what brood is, this is what eggs look like, this is, the basics of things. And you got to have that basic foundation. But then, I mean, even the one that you showed, the Bee Sex Essentials, those kind of things, it's all real basic. And then, but to really learn that stuff, to put it into practice, you've got to do what you're doing, Greg. You've got to get out there and you've got to graft. You got to make queens. You got to see it in action to really understand how all that works. And so it's Ben Shapiro. That's the guy I was thinking of. Cayman Reynolds sounds just like the double time Cayman sounds just like Ben Shapiro. So you guys go try it, check it out, and see what you think. I told Cayman that. I'm not sure if he thought it was funny or not, but anyway, he probably did. So, but I just find that, man, the basics are from the books, and then but the real teachers are hands-on experience and people who know. I've always said, listen, man, if you want to really know how to keep bees alive, try to learn from those folks who have to feed their families keeping bees alive. Like the commercial guys, the guys that have done it for years, some of them can be a little bit crotchety or a little bit grouchy sometimes. A lot of them aren't. But I think most of them really do dry cut, then try bench if you're on double time. It's pretty funny. But if they know what they're doing, if they're willing to share, you can learn a lot. You may not agree or do everything the way they do, but you can learn a lot of stuff, a lot of tricks from those folks that can take you a long way. And that's some of the things I do. That's where I picked up a lot of the things I do just from talking to folks who keep their families fed by taking care of their bees.
That's a great point. There's a million ways to pluck the chicken. It matters what you choose matters how you're going to eat it. And folks that are depending on that for the meat and the bread on the table, those things get done a little bit differently. You'll notice if a guy's got 2,000 or 3,000 colonies and he's successful, he's not doing a couple of these different things necessarily for fun or to see what happens. He's got a solid foundation that he's built on, and those aspects, components, methods, and approaches are for good reason. And it's sometimes I wonder, what would it have been like, Bruce and Brian, if we were trying to head down this beekeeping journey just 10 years ago? We've had access to some of the greatest beekeepers that I think anyone could ever learn from. I don't think I would have had access to all these different folks had it not been for the internet and YouTube connecting and making those connections. Maybe we would have learned from somebody's different. But there's also this weird thing, not to digress, but have you guys ever heard of the hero's journey, or the concept of the hero's journey? It's interesting. Like, you can be, in your local town, and you could be, the guy that has bees or whatever. But it's not until, that person in that storyline leaves and goes on an adventure or faces calamity or any kind of adventure, and then come back before the folks around him or her appreciate the person for their gifts or their calling. So I think it's interesting that how we're all so connected that we can kind of make that little of a hero's journey by connecting with each other and getting involved in our own kind of walks and paths with beekeeping. Even the way that we do through technology, which facilitates, that face-to-face, hands-on, breaking bread at the same table kind of a thing. And that is super cool. Bruce, I'm looking forward to coming down here at the end of this month and maybe seeing you and some other folks down there in Alabama. There were some comments earlier. When's Greg going to make a run through Tennessee? Maybe we'll do that. If you guys are interested in a little get together in Tennessee on the way down through, let me know and we'll put something together. I'd love to see you guys, see some of you again, and a lot of you for the first time. So maybe we can put together a little impromptu shindig down in Tennessee at the end of the month on the way down to see Bruce. And while I'm down there, I hope to see Bruce and who else we're going to see. Maybe get to see Don Bearden and maybe talk Yappy. Or how far is Mike Berry from you, Bruce? Is he pretty far?
He's 5 or 6 hours away. I don't know. We could ask if you want
on the other side.
He's in Louisiana. He's on the opposite side of the state. But I mean,
okay.
It's not that. I mean, we went down there for some hurricane cleanup. It's probably about 5 or 6 hours to his place. And we were in the town right there close to him doing some cleanup, and he came down and it was pretty cool. But I don't know if I'm sure he'd love to, but I mean, I can get Richard over here and we could just have a fun little day working bees. We could go to one or two on bee yards, and we could get some guys. We could get Richard there. We could maybe get Rusty up and just some folks that watch the channel. Maybe we'll just have to see. I don't know how it's going to all come together, but it's going to be a fun day with whatever we decide to do. If it's just me or if we get a group of us, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm not sure if that's going to be good or not, if it's depending on how hot it is. I mean, me and Brian, Brian, if we have to take off our hoodies to start working the bees, it's just
you guys are going to be
sweltering hot.
Greg, I'm just telling you this. Bring your protective gear. Bring your bee jacket.
Oh man!
Unless you just want to unless you just like to get stung up. I mean, because this time of the year down here, and now honestly, today it wasn't bad at all. We've had some rain coming through. It hasn't been bad, but you might have a day where it's a heat index of 110 and the next day it might be 85, 90 degrees. And so you just never know. Just hope it's not pouring down rain that day. That happens a lot too.
I do have on video where Greg had about 20 bees stuck to the side of his face. So he, if he gets stung, that don't bother him.
I mean, it is what sometimes it gets bad though. Sometimes, I don't know, you can see I'm getting scarred up now where it hasn't really affected me. Now I'm getting these big beekeeping scars. They're not going away. They just kind of sit there and kind of raise up. I've had some of these since like April. So I can, it seems like some of that, my body's acting differently. I can get stung in the face now, 10, 12 times, maybe even 20, and it not really affect it anymore. It definitely isn't helping the ugly. So I'm not sure it's worth doing that, Brian. But Bruce, speaking of getting hot and getting warmed up, I think we need to start talking about, while folks are really here, they're probably not here to watch us eat hot honey or talk about how really blazing, sweltering hot it is in Ohio when it's 84 degrees out. But maybe we could start warming up a giveaway wheel. I know we've got not just are we giving away a Hillco extractor tonight. We have some other fun things we're going to give away too, aren't we?
2 or 3 things, but I wanted to answer a quick question for Russell here. When you're going to start treating for mites or doing mite treatments? I just started Monday, put a few strips of Apivar in my Apimay hives in the backyard. As soon as I can get them in there, I'm going to be treating. That's what I'm starting to try to do now. I just can't. I wish I might have to do as much as I can. Saturday's going to be my big day to try to quickly assess and put my first mite treatments in the hives for the summer. But I thought for the first giveaway, if you guys saw, I did a social media post Saturday evening. I tried it this year. I did 1 box of Ross rounds. And they turned out pretty nice. I got 25 that were sellable, and then 3 that I'm just going to give away just to family and friends that weren't really filled out. And then I think 4 of them didn't really do anything much. But I want to give this Ross round away if anyone's interested. Those who don't know what Ross rounds are, I'm going to do a video on it pretty soon. I've got the footage. I've touched base on it a little bit in some of my other videos. But basically what the bees do, there's a white cartridge right here that you put inside a special frame in the hive, and they're kind of tough to do. You have to time everything just right on a really strong colony. Lots of bees won't even touch them hardly, but have to be above a queen excluder. And the bees actually, I put a real thin layer of very thin, it's like wax foundations, like what you use for comb honey. Some people use it, and the bees will actually draw the comb out. It's the foundation's in the middle, like right here. You can't see it because of the label, but and so they build it all on both sides, and it's just beautiful. It's a good presentation. You split the frame apart, you take the cartridge out, put a bottom on it and a top on it with a label, and then they're ready to go, ready to sell. So I thought I'd give this away if anyone is interested in this. We're going to spin the wheel 3 or 4 times total tonight. We're
going to get it warmed up. Everyone's going to win something.
So I want to send this to somebody if anyone's interested. We have some folks commenting. Let's just get some quick comments in there. I don't know, what did it just need to comment anything particular, or just going to grab some comments?
Just throw some comments, and then
Bruce, maybe just put hashtag Bruce.
Ross
round. Well, I'll just pull a participant list, and because we just hit 200, so
yeah, that's awesome. Hey, by the way, thanks everybody for being on here. This is so much fun.
Yeah,
but we'll just grab some names off of here, and we'll spin it.
Yeah.
And whoever gets it, just confirm it when we get it, and we'll get it to you.
Yeah, just comment in the next minute, and then I'll pull. Basically,
we got some more stuff to give away too. We got, I think, 2 or 3 other things to give away too.
Bruce, what do you, as far as while folks are commenting and getting in on the Ross round love, what's your overall forecast for Ross rounds in your operation moving forward?
Well, these turned out pretty good. I actually had 2 boxes, and I was going to use them both, but I thought it's been 2 or 3 years since I've tried them, and it's just hard to get them to work. It hasn't really been something I wanted to do that much, but I've had a lot of people asking for comb honey, so I decided to try it. I didn't have enough cartridges and enough supplies to do both boxes. Each box will do 32 if they fill them out really good. So I just did the one. Next year I may order some more boxes and just try to do a couple of hundred of them and see what happens. If I really market it, I think I've had one of my stores actually asked, if they could have some. I may take a few over there, but I'm going to run out of them really quickly. And so I'm going to, I'm going to probably do more. I'm thinking I may try and do a couple of hundred, at least get 3 or 4 more boxes and see what happens. Now, this is interesting. Somebody, I think they're on the chat. I can't remember who it was, actually on social media sent me the link to, I guess Saracell has a frame that is compatible with Ross rounds. It's like a little clamp that goes on the side, and it's like 2 Ross rounds stacked on each other. It's like a frame you put in a deep box. So you can do twice as many that way. And it's just like a little clamp that clamps on the ends of the frames, the Ross round frames. And then you can get 8 per frame instead of just 4. And so that's something I may look into too and find out more about that. But anyway, they're fun. They're really cool. They're a novelty item. And I'm selling these for 12 each. I could probably get more, but that's that's what I'm selling for now. I think some people just would think I'm crazy for selling for that cheap, because they're super cool and super nice. And they're quite a bit of work. And of course the products, the parts to this thing do cost some money as well, but it was more something to try again this year and see if I could be successful. I've just found with the tallow flow, man, the bees just pack it out so fast. You get them on a good colony, and I think you can do well with it. So
you need doubles, you think, or just a really jammed out double shooken down into singles?
Just a motivated honey packing hive, whatever it is, single, double, whatever it is, just make sure they're packing honey in. And I actually put this underneath another super or two of already drawn out comb they were putting honey in. I think if you actually put this on there on a really strong colony that's a honey making colony, and you kind of remove most of the other opportunities for them to make honey, I think they'll fill them out even better. But I think I had 2 medium supers on top of this that were full of honey as well when I put it on there. It's pretty cool, fun stuff. But yeah, should we spin it, Brian? We ready? We lost Greg. What happened, Greg?
I got it.
There he is.
This thing, when I pulled the participant list, it always does this. Like when we're on a different channel, I get those funky links in it, but it's fine. It's fine. I mean, we'll still see the name. So let me see here.
Before we spin that wheel, let's thank everybody again for all the super chats. It really does mean a lot. It puts us in a place where we can ship these things out and have some fun stuff to give away. So thanks again. You guys are awesome.
Let's see.
We got a bunch. Look at how many we got in there in that short time.
81 on there. And look at it. It's like, it's almost like who's that hacker group that Anonymous hacked the wheel. Let's see. We're gonna have to see who it is. Let's see. Uh-oh. Who is it? Mark B. Mark B got it. Look at all that coding. That's so weird.
I don't know. It is strange.
Mark B.
Just let us know.
Mark B.
Send Bruce an email. Bruce, is that the best way?
It's Bruce at Brucesbees.com. That's Bruces, BRUCES bees.com. Make sure to include that S in there. Some people forget about that. Bruce at Brucesbees.com, and also confirm in the comments here that you got that mark, and we'll get that out to you. Need your address, your name, address, and any other information, but we'll get that to you here really soon.
That's awesome.
I have something else to give away. Does anybody else have anything they want to give away?
I do. Let's keep it warm. We've got something last week. We just threw together just this goofy idea of a swag bag, and I've got the first swag bag from last week that I'm getting ready to ship out. And so next on the Wheel of Fortune is another swag bag. Here's what it looks like. It's a bag. It's got our regular, just kind of a tote with our farm logo and stuff on it. Let's see what's inside. We've got stickers. Contrary Beekeeper Show sticker for the podcast. We've got a farm sticker. You also have my business card. If you have any questions, my information's on there. You can reach out. Here's something cool and new, but it's a Nature's Image Farm
Oh,
key
wow.
ring. That would look real good on your riding lawnmower, wouldn't that? Mullet, just waving in the air, just cutting that grass on a Saturday. Here's the cool thing. All right, this is something brand new that I put together just for our stream team viewers. So Mike Mooneyham last week was the first one to get it. So you guys ready? So check it out. It is a front of a 5-frame deep nuke box.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
I like
branded with our brand. But whoever the winner is, I'm gonna write you a little note on the back just to say thanks. And then you can take that home and you can hang it on the wall. You can put it on your desk. You can use it for kindling in the wintertime if it gets really, really cold out in a survival situation. Or if you didn't win that big Hillco extractor and you want to take it out on something, well, there's some nice fire starting material there. So anyways, a Nature's Image Farm swag bag. So next on the wheel, just comment swag bag and we'll get that shipped out to you. You'll send, whoever the winner is, you'll send an email to me at nature'simagefarm@gmail.com and we'll get it out. Or Greggy Poo as Hickory Hives. That's never going to die, is it, Brian?
Greggy Poo will never go away.
Oh, man.
You know, and I have a feeling that there's somebody that, Greg, that she probably, she's going to laugh probably for years over that. So might be the person
I hear about it constantly.
Hive. Yeah, it might be the person that the top bar hive is named after.
Oh boy, would that be Miss Susie?
Might be. Yeah,
Allegedly.
I don't know.
Well, cool.
I just tried.
It's fine. I know these things are. Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, I just tried again with that participant list in this thing. Oh, it always acts up. Oh well.
Have we broken the Wheel of Fortune?
We didn't break the wheel that everybody is here for. We didn't break that wheel. If we broke that wheel, I would probably.
Man, look at all the swag bag entrance, man. There's probably, oh shoot, man.
Yeah.
50, 60 already on there.
I would go into a state of severe depression.
Looks
Look
like
at
it's on
that
the
wheel.
right here.
You can't
It's on
even
the
like
right
it.
now, isn't it?
You used to be able to see your name as it goes by, and it was like, oh, that, and then now it's just like, now we're gonna have to wait and see.
It's all this stuff. So what was this one here for? The swag bag?
Yeah, swag bag.
Let's see here. Let's shuffle. Look at it. It went weird.
Oh goodness.
It went weird. Hopefully we can make it out. Who is it? Oh, look at that.
Hey,
Cajun
Homestead and Beekeeping. Send me an email at
go.
nature'simagefarm@gmail.com. We'll get that out to
awesome.
you.
Brad,
While that wheel is hot, Bruce, what else we got?
All right. This is another. Okay. Is there anybody else that has anything else they want to give away first? Because this one is really warming up to the extractor giveaway. We good? We ready?
Let her rip, Gator Chip.
Look at
In this box right here, not only did John partner with us on the extractor, but he also sent me a box with some goodies in it to give away specifically for the stream team. Last week, Bruce Brown won the hive tool. We sent that out to him. He confirmed that he got it. Tonight so far, of course, the Ross round. Mark, be sure you send me that email at brucesbees.com. And then in this box that John sent me, we have a beautiful 10-inch smoker. It's exactly like the one I use, and it's really a nice smoker. Very well built. I really like it. I looked it up. It's a $40 item. That's what they sell it for. I think other companies sell the very similar smokers for more than that, I'm sure, but it's very well built. Really nice smoker. It's actually a lot like the Daydance smoker. I think that a lot of people love the real high quality one. The bellows really work well. If you see my videos now, that's what I'm using is the one that's just like this. So I'm giving this joker away from Hillco. John at Hillco sent it to me, and we appreciate that, John. But let's smoker. Put in their hashtag smoker. Let's give that thing away.
Yeah, just throw some comments in there, and I'll grab the wheel again.
Bruce,
Hashtag
what's your favorite
Hillco,
way to
hashtag
light your smoker?
Yeah.
Well, I bought a propane lighter recently and used it. I also use a little hand flick things, but I use pine straw. Actually, very similar to the way you do it. I saw you light one recently, or in a video, Greg, where you get the pine needles of the pine straw, you let it really flame up big, then put a few more and then let it flame up big again. And then by the time they're really flamed up good a couple of times, you can pack it in there pretty tight. And I really like pine straw because it just is a beautiful, cool smoke. But it does tend to burn out a little quicker, and it leaves a tar inside the, in the smoker. It's kind of a pain. I tried burlap for a while. I got burlap, but it seems to almost become really sticky. I don't know if any of you guys have had experience where it almost glues the smoker
It's got
shut.
a weird smell too. Yeah.
And I don't mind the smell too much. It's kind of a sticky thing. But the pine straw it's so plentiful around here. I actually go to Lowe's and buy a bale of pine straw, and that'll last me for a month. Or I can just go rake it up in the woods, or, I'll grab leaves from the woods, just whatever. But that's what I do. I know there are techniques I've seen where people can keep them lit for hours and hours upon end. But I have never tried those really. I just pack it in there, and Rusty, my buddy, actually packs the pine straw in real tight, and he takes his torch, his lighter torch, and holds it on 3 different points on the base of the smoker and pumps it. And when that thing's lit up with pine straw, he really packs it in tight. It'll last for a long, long time as well. But there's so many different ways to do it. Man, look at all those people.
103 on this one.
My gosh. So awesome. We sure appreciate y'all. Good grief. So this is for the smoker, right?
That's crazy. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, man. I wish I could see the name. Oh, Moody Hives.
There we go.
Congrats.
Oh, Steve Moody, local Ohio fella. Yeah, he was, matter of fact, Steve inspected the hive there in the learning yard, the one that has a little bit of a plot twist, which is a myth-busting situation that you can see in Brian's upcoming video that he took of the learning yard. I think Brian's going to publish that this Saturday. So, Steve, be sure you check out the Castle Hives YouTube channel for the follow-up on what happened to that double 5-framer that you inspected. Something completely unexpected that definitely is a huge myth-busting thing. And I mean for anybody, especially if you raise queens, there's a few something we talk about in there that you won't believe. So,
all right, to repeat that email, it's Steve. Is that his name? Moody.
Steve Moody.
Hive. I think, Steve. I think he comments on quite a few of my videos. I do appreciate it. My email once again, Brian. Can you run this on the screen here for just a second, or put it in the comments? Bruce@brucesbees.com, and make sure you include the whole email. On my phone, when I try to put it in comments here for Mark in my comments on YouTube, it Bruce@ is white, and then brucesbees.com is in blue. Just include all that in the email when you email me.
Right there.
Let's see what it did right there. It kind of looks like it separates it out. Make sure you include all that in the email when you email me. It'll get to me fine. Just send me your name, address, how you want me to get it to you, and we'll get these 2 items mailed out to you guys.
That's awesome.
So that's fun, man.
218. I think people want to see this other wheel spin.
I think, I'm what you'll see in that video that Brian took also, we took some video that we'll at some point we'll get out. Thanks again, Brian, for if it wasn't for Brian coming to visit and getting these videos out, I don't think folks would have any idea what we're up to at the farm. It's just been so busy, hard to get content out. So I appreciate you doing that. That little snippet that you played earlier, Brian, that spinner, the extractor in that is a Hillco Enduro 6-frame extractor. It'll do 6 medium frames radially, and then it'll do 3. There's baskets that you can put 3 deeps in there and spin them tangentially. So it was pretty cool. So we enjoyed being able to have that to show folks exactly, what you can expect with a 6-frame. For the price, it's really hard to find something that's built that well in those price points. If you are in Ohio and you're hooked in with us at Nature's Image Farm, shoot us an email at nature'simagefarm@gmail.com. We're going to try to put together a group buy on some of these Hillco extractors and save you guys some money. If you're interested and you're looking for an extractor and you want to pick it up locally in Ohio, here at the farm in Zanesville, again, shoot me a message either through Facebook or send me an email at nature'simagefarm@gmail.com. We're going to try to work with John Hill and try to get a group buy on some of these extractors and have them available here at the store. So definitely take a look at that. Brian, what do you think about that 9-frame extractor?
I loved it. It as far as what I always had, the problem that I always had before was you always, when you spun your frames out, then you're tipping the thing forward, just to get that last little bit, just because that valve down at the bottom, there was always that gap. Now, the Hillco, I will say, most of it ran out. I would say, similar like you saw, Greg, 90+%, probably 95% ran out without having to tip that unit. And then it was just, tip the thing a little bit. Now, I'm one of those that, most people would just let the bees clean up most of the extractor then too. I'm down in there getting my arm coated in honey because I got a spatula and I'm scraping the goods out.
Oh, man.
So, but most of it came out. I mean, it was very easy assembly. I think from the unboxing to when I had that thing running was literally minutes. It's that easy to set up. The controls on it, simple. There's a little dial. I would suggest whoever's going to get it, don't just go from, 0 and crank it clear up. Now, it will slowly ramp up, but, you want to make sure that when you load that thing, just go up gradually. That way, if you have any weight imbalance, that thing doesn't get away from you. So, if you bolt it down, well, I mean, you're probably not going to have to worry about it getting away from you, but you just want to be careful. That way you're going at a slow pace on that thing. So let me see.
Mike Berry said, I think there was like 1/8 of an inch of honey in the back of it after he extracted. So, it's a very little bit, which is, dang trolls. What are we doing here?
There wasn't a lot in our 6-framer. There wasn't a lot either. And Susie we have a little brick that would just kind of prop the extractor up. Whatever's left, kind of gets dumped out. And then I'm kind of old fashioned with cleaning, is I took that extractor and the capping tank and everything and just put that right outside. The bees had that thing clean in probably 30 to 45 minutes. If you are going to put an extractor outside for the bees to clean it up, it works awesome, but do the bees a favor and at least tilt that extractor down or put it on its side so that honey is kind of spread out along the length of the extractor on that sidewall. At first, I just set it down because there was a million things to do and get done, and I just sat it there. And what I noticed as I had a big glob of bees kind of floating in the honey, I put it down on its side, and then they all kind of got their legs under them again, and then were able to get on and get going. But you don't want to drown a bunch of bees in the honey. It doesn't take a whole lot to coat them in it either. So it definitely works great to have them clean it up. Let's take a look at Brian's extractor there.
This is the same one we're giving away.
You get you situated back there. You see this thing. It's running pretty smooth. I'm going to go ahead now, extract a couple frames. I'm going to run, a couple super.
What's that wetness on your shirt, Brian?
I did wipe it out. Hillco. You can see here, I got it loaded up. 9 frames. Never been able to spin this many before. So I'm going to start it just real slow at first. All right. We got it turned on. Real slow.
Listen how quiet that is.
Oh, I see the honey is starting. Let me bring you in. He set you up.
So cool. Y'all, I'm so excited about this. This is so much fun, guys.
That thing. Oh, go ahead, Greg.
No, you first.
I was just going to say, like you saw when I was running it without frames, literally there is hardly no sound. It is that smooth. So for that unit to come like that, the construction on that thing, whoever is getting that extractor, it's just going to be a game changer. So, yeah,
It's a dandy. And even if, let's say, for folks who are looking for an extractor, they have John has some much larger ones too, and also some smaller ones. So no matter kind of what your budget is, they're very competitively priced, and they're a good solid machine. If you want a manual, he's got a manual. If you want a 6-frame, a smaller 6-frame electric like the one that we have here at the Learning Yard for folks to check out, there's one there. And for the price points, I mean, I just don't know that you can beat them. You can feel good about also supporting, a large family that's trying to run a business together, work together. He's got a great crew. I've seen him at convention. Him and his sons, his crew, they're just good, salt of the earth folks. So when you have a choice, and when we can vote with our wallet, think about supporting somebody that will definitely appreciate it. That just isn't another name out there that you can always call with questions, comments, concerns. We'll be there to pick up the phone. So definitely consider a Hillco extractor.
Well, guys, how many folks we got on the wheel, Brian?
There are. Let me just share that wheel.
Now, so just to recap on this, how you got in this entry, it was free. It was free to enter.
Yeah.
And you commented on some of the last videos, hashtag Streamteam, hashtag Hillco, and Brian has kind of accumulated all of those comments into this massive drawing to see who the lucky folks will be, the lucky person to get that. So you can't look at that thing. You can't even see that the names have turned to colors.
Someone asked how much the one was that you were showing, Brian. That was the 9-frame that we're giving away. That's $859 value, which is what that was.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that's the exact one we're giving away.
Yeah,
$859. Hey guys, I think people are saying just spin this thing already. Shall we do it?
All right.
It's about time.
Is everybody ready?
Right. I'm going to shuffle the names.
Are you sure?
There we go.
Are you sure they're ready? Maybe we should have a broccoli eating contest first. Is everybody? Are you sure everybody's ready, guys? I mean,
it's only been 2 weeks.
We should just postpone it.
Wow, I don't know. Let's see.
Another week.
Yeah, another week.
I just got a text message here from looks like it came from Dan Bokris. Asked if he slips Brian a 20, can you get on the wheel extra?
Hey, we've already been through that.
Sorry, Dan.
We've already been through that. We've already been through all that.
Well, hey, before we spin that wheel, I just want to thank again everybody for not only participating, but for hanging out with us on all the streams. Showing that support by liking, by subscribing, the comments that you guys had, sharing our videos with your audience too. It's been a tremendous help. We can't thank you enough. This is just a very small way that we can try to begin to show our appreciation for you folks. So I think if you guys, without further ado, what do you think, Brian? You want to spin that wheel? There it is. Here we go. Who's it going to be?
Oh my God.
Who's it going to be? Here we go. I'm excited. Here it is.
Who is it?
Here it is. Who is it?
Who is it? Who is it? Matt F.
Yeah.
Wow.
Matt F. Congratulations. You've just won a Hillco 9-frame extractor. Designed, assembled here in the USA by the Hill family at Hillco. A fine machine. Congratulations. I hope you and this piece of equipment and your bees just enjoy it, and it really helps you guys out.
How do we need to have him contact us?
Well, if he's not in here, how long do you guys want to give the 24 to 48 hours total?
Let's go ahead and let's do a second
Yeah,
and a third just in case.
Okay.
So let's spin the wheel for a backup.
Matt, if you're in here, just confirm it.
Yeah. Come on.
You got to be in this chat right now.
Yeah. All right.
I'd hate to be the alternate.
Oh my God, I know. Oh wait, somebody said he's here. So Sarah's Happy Hives. I know Sarah's in here. So
okay, well, Matt F, if you're in here,
yeah,
make sure you post a comment. If for some reason you can't get to your comments, but let's see here. Man, that's great. That's how fun is that to be able to do that for folks?
He's here.
He's here. Yep.
Did he respond?
There he is.
Yep.
All right.
Matt F is here. Nice job,
Email. Who do we have? Email me, or who does he need to email? We got to get this information to Jeff or to John.
Yeah, to John. I know Bruce, you have John's number, so do you want Matt?
I think Bruce started Bruce this giveaway
just
started with Bruce. Just email Bruce.
Email me, Matt, bruce@brucesbees.com, and just get that full email in there, and I will make sure we get your information to John, and he'll get in touch with you. bruce@brucesbees.com, as well as the other 2 winners tonight of my stuff. Be sure you email me.
He's here.
Awesome, guys. Congratulations, Matt, man. That is the coolest thing. Wow. And we're going to, with all the super chats rolling in, we're going to keep trying to do stuff like this. We can't promise it's going to be something like this every time. We're going to try and get some nice stuff in here that's worth you guys watching. And that's not, like I say, the main reason we're doing this isn't for the giveaways, it's for the community, but hey, it's just a lot of fun. And I know y'all have enjoyed it. And if you're looking for an extractor, just go check out Hillco and see what you think. I'm actually thinking about next year. We've got our 2 lines going, but maybe I'll talk to my buddy Rusty and see if we continue to use the same setup, maybe getting the 32 frame Hillco. That we could really jam and go fast if we had 3 extractors going. So I'll talk to Rusty and see if that's something we want to do. But if I get another just sideliner type extractor, I'll be buying the Hillco one. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm thinking. My thought process is right now. I'll buy one from them and probably the 32 framer.
Yeah. I feel like we've been driving towards those mountains for all this time, and now we're here. The extractor giveaway is complete, but wait, there's more. You know, you guys have been so generous with the super chats, and that it's a fantastic way that we can just turn around and pay it forward. We're going to throw out a mystery prize. We're going to spin that wheel on next week's. And next week we're back on Bruce's channel, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So after this video publishes,
Hives, how about a Cohen?
How about a Cohen? Nice.
$32,000, I think, for the.
That's awesome.
We've got a long way to go.
We'll need a couple more super chats.
We're gonna. We'll need.
Hey, I'm sorry, Greg. Don't let me cut you. I think I want to go ahead, Sarah, and this is going to be a little bit of a downer. But I'm gonna go ahead and send you a Ross round 2 if you want one. So just you got that backup. You got the.
Bruce, you're turning into Oprah too.
Everyone's a winner.
I'm telling you. But Sarah, just send me your email address. I'll shoot you a Ross round as well. Because that had to have been somewhat of a downer there. But anyway, it's been a lot of fun. I'm sorry, Greg. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, you're okay. We're gonna keep the Christmas in July theme going. After this video publishes, just do hashtag Streamteam, hashtag Nature's Image Farm. We're gonna put together something special too. And we're going to let that go on the Wheel of Fortune next Wednesday on the Brucesbees YouTube channel. Bruce, that's a week away. So now we better start digging through all the pawn shops and see what we can find. See if we can find something cool to give away. But
oh man,
before we get off here, I want again to say thanks to everybody for all of the honey, all the things that you've sent us. it's been awesome to see our PO box just be literally swarming with honey and fun stuff. If you want to see your honey debut here on the Stream Team for everyone to see, and also be on our shelf at the shop here at Nature's Image Farm, you can send us something to PO Box 1074, Zanesville, Ohio 43702. We'll be sure to say thanks and show it, put it on our shelf. Bruce and Brian, I want to thank you guys too, because there's a lot of time and effort, and kind of we're communicating all week back and forth. We're throwing around ideas. It's as always a team effort. I'm going to thank you guys for being awesome, doing what you guys do individually. Kind of Houston Shelton needs a chainsaw. Oh, you just never know. You just never know.
Oh.
Seriously, I want to thank you guys for just being awesome, being a part of the Stream Team. We are just a reflection of that light. When we say be the lighthouse, we mean it. It's not about us getting any of the credit. We don't deserve any of that. All we're trying to do is just reflect the light. You guys, everyone here in the comments, takes time watching and subscribing and interacting with us. You guys make this special. So I want to say thanks to all you guys too. Brian, do you have any closing thoughts before we kind of come down from this Hillco Extractor buzz?
Man, I don't know. Everything's just spun out of control. You see?
You're a poet and you just don't know it.
Oh man.
Beekeeping in Paradise. Thank you for that super chat.
You.
So I've gotten emails from Mark and from the extractor winner. What is the first name of the extractor? Is it Matt?
Matt F.
Matt, I think it must be Matt 4G.
Yep. Yeah.
I haven't heard from Moody Hives, and I haven't heard from Sarah yet. So Bruce at brucesbees.com, guys.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just want to just piggyback and say thank you to everybody. I mean, this whole thing has, like we said early on, this is kind of just morphed into something that there's so many people out there that we're able to connect with and, meet. And it's an amazing thing that's happening in the beekeeping community. So it really is. So just want to thank everybody.
Yeah, I can't. When I talked to John about this, John's just a perfect example of, and it's not just John, it's a lot of these smaller companies that are trying to build their business, and they're trying to do it the right way. Even like you, Greg, with what you sell. There's just a community. It's just incredible and it's fun. And John was so gracious to be able to work with us on this extractor. I don't know that we could have or would have attempted to afford paying full price for it. He gave us a really good price on it. He's going to ship it to you, Matt. And so, man, it's just been so much fun. And I was just talking to him about some other stuff and just kind of hatched the idea when we were talking. It's really turned out well. So, but just this, I know we use the word community so much, but it's so true. It's just exactly, I experienced it a couple of weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, harvesting that honey, man. What an incredible time we had. Pulling the honey on Friday, extracting on Saturday. And once again, if you haven't watched my video, those two videos, especially the extraction video at the end, where you just can see at least some of the people that helped out were there. And I kind of talked to them and just hear them just interact, and just the fun that we had. And everybody was tired and hot and sweaty and sticky. But man, it was so much fun at the same time. Hot, hard work, but fun. And that's just what the beekeeping world is all about. That's the type of folks we have on this chat. We really appreciate everybody. And I just can't say I appreciate you watching my videos and watching these videos. It's been just a fun thing to work through. We've enjoyed it.
It's definitely an honor to be here, just to help facilitate just those connections. I enjoy seeing all the side chats and everybody just being, even though it's a virtual community, off to the side doing their thing. That's so important. I would encourage folks, if you can, get out there, get face to face. Make the time to meet the folks in your area. Do what you can to help others. If you can, you don't have to be an expert beekeeper to help somebody in beekeeping. If you have the opportunity, consider being a mentor. If there's somebody that you can help, just guide, give a little bit of your time, a little bit of your knowledge, just to help somebody get off to a good start. I'd highly encourage you to do that. If you're interested in being a mentor with Hives for Heroes, or if you're a military veteran or first responder and you're looking to get into beekeeping, I'd encourage you to take a look at hivesforheroes.com, sign up to be a newbie, or sign up to be a mentor. It's just another way that you can continue just to help folks, get them onto a good path, take a good first step forward. That's kind of what it's all about. It's been awesome, guys. We always try to keep these things under 2 hours. We're right about there. Last thing I would just remind folks, there's a lot of small outfits out there raising queens, providing supplies, nukes. So supporting small and local business is a big deal. And now I know I don't want to speak for John, but I feel like I can speak for us. And I'm sure he would echo the same. We really appreciate it when you guys vote with your wallet, and you support us, smaller businesses. It means an awful lot. It's what helps keep the food on the table. We appreciate you guys. And if there's anything we can do for you to help you along, definitely don't be shy to reach out. We're here to help. And on that one, I think I just would like to just remind folks to, be the lighthouse and be the change that you want to see in this world. Brian, you want to play the ending footage there?
Sure thing. Here we go.
Thanks again, everybody.
All right, guys. Y'all take care.
We'll see you next time.